So, welcome to today's webinar, and I'm joined by Mr. Bruno Souza, who I'm going to be doing a little bit of a series with. We have something I think is quite exciting anyway. We're going to be discussing a great new platform. We're all marketers watching this, and we love new tools, new platforms, new ways to make funnels, and new ways to get in front of the right people. And Bruno here is the king of this new tool that does this. I've never seen anyone like him. Just click, 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 click. So this is the man. So welcome, Bruno. Thank you very much for coming on and spending some time and hopefully giving us some advice on what this tool can do for the audience out there.
Yeah, thanks for having me, and I appreciate that very generous introduction.
No, it's amazing when you just know someone knows what the hell they're doing with something. It's just the way you do it. Yeah, I'll put that there, bang, bang, bang. Forms and all that are coming up, and you're just like, whoa, what just happened?
Greg, I love you. Right now, it sounds like when my grandparents see me like doing anything online, they're like, look at how fast he just clicks in places.
That's what I feel like right now. It's just like, I'm like that guy who does the one, like my dad typing with like one finger compared to me. And I would consider myself fairly fast on a computer, but yeah. So before we go into the tooling stuff, Bruno, you're from Black Swan Media, which is your company. But whereabouts are you based? And can you just give us a wee brief introduction into your background, how you've got into this particular industry?
Yeah, so I grew up in Massachusetts in a small little town, middle of nowhere, went to school with like 50 other people, super, super small town. And when I was going to college, I was invited to join Las Vegas, to come to Vegas, live in a mansion, and basically teach guys how to socialize with girls. So really rich dudes that spent their entire life making money, but just had no social skills at all. And I just had to teach them like how to be cool, how to be chill. So through this program, I was able to be a gentleman who would introduce me to SEO, because I was really good at coaching and I was really good at like teaching guys how to do this, but I was really bad at making money. And so I met this guy and he's like, well, if you teach me this, then I can teach you how to make money through SEO. And so I'm like, okay, that sounds like a deal. So that's kind of how I got into SEO and I was introduced to it. And so one of the first things that we did is we started a lead generation business. So before I had my first SEO client, I already had a top ranking site that was already bringing in leads, bringing in sales. And I would go around and I would just call people like, hey, do you want to buy leads? Hey, do you want to buy leads? Hey, do you want to buy leads? And then eventually I got a guy that was like, well, if you did it for this site, can you do it for my site? And so I was like, yeah. And he's like, what's your agency? And I'm like, it's Black Swan Media. So, and then that same day I like threw up a website super quick. And then that's how I kind of got started with SEO and I got my first client.
Interesting background. We'll probably have to do a series on those people to be cool. You must have some cool stories there to tell on that. But obviously not for today. We're here today to find out about the new tool or software or whatever we want to call it. And the name of it is Go High Level. So just before we go into it, how long has Go High Level been around for?
I think they're pretty new. I know they've been around for at least a year, but it's still very early when you compare it to the other people that have like the different market shares that are kind of around. So it's like, if you look at something like ClickFunnels, they got over 100,000 active subscribers, and then Go High Level's around the 4,000 mark right now, at least what I'm guessing from what I see from the different groups. So the cool thing about it is it's like we're able to adopt this tool while not a lot of people know about it yet. So I think that's a huge advantage right off the bat.
Yeah, no, the first time I heard of it, I had Dino Gomez on a few months back. And I was actually asking him, I was messing about with thinking about HubSpot, I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, don't just, everyone's using Go High Level. And I'm like, what? What did you just say? And I had a quick glance at it. And then obviously I seen, or we get messaging each other. And I'm like, dude, tell me more about this. I've heard a bit about it. And yeah, it's just mind blowing. But for you, what blew my mind, Bruno, and I'm going to ask you to do this again, actually. So are you able to share your screen and just tell us, like, what blew my mind? I jumped on a call with you a couple of months back, and within 5 minutes, I was like, fuck, this is something I have to do something with this. This is so cool. So can you just share your screen and just briefly show us the different things that Go High Level does?
Yeah, let me pop it open, and here is the screen share button. So give me just 2 seconds here.
No worries.
By the way, when you said Dino was also using this, something that I've noticed is like kind of the experts in the industry, like the top dogs, they're all kind of getting into this. Everybody's getting their feet wet, and I'm seeing like this thing evolving, which is super cool.
Yeah.
So share screen. Okay. It's working, right?
Yes, we can see it.
Awesome. So, God, even just going through it is going to be long. So it's like cut me off at any point, Greg. But like, first off, what I want you guys to know is you can have unlimited client accounts. So one for each of the GMBs or each location that you set up. And what you're looking at is my own Providence location for my own business. First off, this tool is white. I guess we're on the second point now, but this tool is white label. So when you would set it up for yourself or for your clients, it would be your logo here, not my logo. And then instead of it being the Go High Level URL, what you guys would get is your own URL. So when my clients, they're going to go log into their dashboard, they would actually go to nc.blackswanmedia.co. And I'm going to hop away because that's going to log into a client account right now. But that's how, yeah, I got to stop showing all my clients when I do these live videos. But the first thing that you're looking at is really a dashboard. And this dashboard is one of the most underrated things about this tool, because I feel like right now, a lot of people, they're losing clients. Clients are scaling back. And there's just like a lot of money being lost in the industry. And the reason why people are losing money is because either they're a terrible marketer or you're not able to prove your ROI to clients. I don't know about you, Greg, but I feel like at least when I was learning SEO, what people would say is like, the only reporting and deliverables you should be giving your clients are keyword ranking and keyword tracking reports. You're not responsible for the client closing the deal. You're not responsible for any of that. But I feel like that's a really big mistake, because if your client doesn't know the ROI that they directly get from your SEO or your marketing efforts, then they have the privilege of canceling on you. Then that is their prerogative. But if at all points they know how much money you're making them, it's not just about the keyword rankings. Like they know that they spend $3K with you, but in return, they're making $15K, and they're able to visually see that, then I feel like they're never going to cancel with you. So yeah, that's one of the first reasons why I like the dashboard, because my clients log in. I don't do any keyword reporting anymore. They just log into their dashboard and they see how their pipeline looks like.
So in order to get a pipeline, obviously what you've done there is obviously various different marketing campaigns. And the great thing about Go High Level is you don't have to just send an email. You don't have to rely on SEO. You've got things like text message marketing, voice drops, and some of the other stuff that's on there. You know, that campaign you've got in front of you, which you've got, you know, what was the kind of mix of things that were done to generate that revenue or pipeline value?
So this one is just for the organic leads that have come in through my my own website, but I do know what you're referring to. And give me 1 second, because I'll pull up a client account here and I'll take a screenshot so I can properly explain the really cool thing that I guess I could show and give away. Let's see.
Giveaways.
So the mentality here is how. So, okay, so I want to give like a little bit of backstory, because I know most of the audience here is SEO. I remember one day here's the screenshot that I just took, guys. So this is a real client account. I just took the screenshot for you, and they had a $150,000 pipeline. Right now they're going through all the deals and seeing which deals closed and which didn't. First off, when it says opportunities here, these aren't just leads that we generated for the client. These are appointments that we booked for them. And we were able to do this without any ad spend, with less than 20 minutes of work. And it took us less than a week to do this campaign. And the way that we did it is through text message. We were able to just take everybody that this particular client had in their CRM, and they would use, I think it's called Mind to Body. That's the one that they had for this particular client. But we downloaded their CRM, we imported it into Go High Level, and then we ran a text message campaign. And in under a week, we had built a 150K pipeline for them. And yeah, and the big advantage there is, like, imagine how easy it would be to sell your marketing services if when you were selling your marketing services, you were able to like pay for the client's entire marketing budget within 7 days of them knowing you. There's no risk for the client, because what I always tell clients is like, look, only pay me if you're happy with the results. The work is extremely minimal because it's all automated through Go High Level. And then you might have to pay like 20, 30 bucks in Twilio costs.
Yeah. Which is nothing.
Exactly. And to be able to deliver results like these that are significant, they're fast, and they're like very definitive to a client, that I don't know, that completely changed the way that we do business at Black Swan. If we can onboard a client and do this for them, it changes the power dynamic, the relationship. It's like the client's always looking for new ways of doing business, and it keeps your clients happy, because it's like, even if I never generated another lead for this client for the rest of the year, they're still highly, highly profitable with us.
Yeah. So the main thing here is obviously for that particular campaign is the text messaging side of things. Now, that client could have got that themselves had they had the software and had the marketing brain to try and sell something. So for like car garages, for example, and I'm just using a random example, but a car garage that services cars every year, I could approach them and basically say, give me everyone whose whose cars need serviced or whose MOTs need done for the month of June. Send a text, mate, because they've got all that data sitting in their computer there, or in their somewhere within there. And basically, I'm going to generate a ton of leads for these people. That's effectively what you're doing, is taking their data that's sitting under their noses and cleverly just taking action on the data, so to speak.
Yeah, and you brought up a good question. It's like, if all you're doing is sending a text message, and if it's this easy, then why wouldn't a client just do it themselves instead of paying? Because we charge anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 just for this campaign. So that's not including any of the SEO services, the web design, or anything else that we do. Just for a single text campaign, it's anywhere from 1K to 5K USD. So you're like, well, why doesn't the client just do it themselves? And there's the two reasons. The first reason is, first off, there's no software that can kind of compare to Go High Level. But even if they find out about Go High Level and they get the software, and then they're going to put the time and the effort into figuring out how it works, I don't think somebody like that would be the right client anyways, because to me, that kind of signals that, like, hey, these people are beyond broke. Because successful business owners is like, they're trying to outsource and they're trying to delegate. They're not trying to have that like broke person mentality where it's like, I'm going to do everything myself. So that's part one. And then part two, the business owners who do try to do this, they end up failing because they don't know how to run a proper text marketing campaign. And so they actually burn their list and piss off all of the people who would have otherwise been a receptive customer. So whenever we pitch this to a client, we always make sure to tell them, like, hey, we have a proven text message sequence that we can send. Yeah.
I mean, no, but the point I was trying to make is, for us marketers, it's so fucking easy for us to get clients' data. So me, if I was an agency, to go to 5 garages and say, give me all your data, I could essentially say to them, I'll do this for free, pay me per lead, or whatever. There's so many different models you could do and pretty much guarantee success, because the key part of it all is the data that you're using, and obviously the smart tool alongside that.
Yeah, we've started doing that with a couple of national companies where we do pay-per-appointment deals with them. And that's literally been like printing money, because they just send us their data. They have like databases of like over 70,000 people. And then we get paid $300 for every appointment that we can get them. So literally printing money.
Just interesting. Now, over and above, obviously, the one you've got there, text messaging, what other ways can we automate ways of getting in front of the right people here?
Sure. So let's hop over to the campaign section. So there's a lot of modules, and we're definitely not going to have time to cover everything. Like, we just spent today talking about different things that you can automate.
Yeah.
But so let's just call this test. So the way that campaigns work and go high level is that they're a series of events. And so let's add our first event here. We can choose whether we want to do a text message, we want to do an email, we want to do a voicemail drop, we want to do Facebook Messenger if we have the contact's Facebook profile, or we can do a forced phone call. A forced phone call just means, like, let's say, I'll give you an example of how you would use this. Like, let's say you're running PPC ads or Facebook ads for a client, and as soon as somebody fills out a lead form, you want the business owner's phone to ring, and then you want the client's phone to ring, and then you want them to be connected to each other. That's what the forced phone call option does. And then you have these other 5 options here. This is really for managing a sales team and kind of replacing Salesforce. So we're not going to get into that. But these are the 5 channels that we can automate. And so we can start adding it. And let's say we want to, if we're running a campaign, we want to do immediate text message. And then afterwards, we want to do an email the next day. And then you want to do voicemail to follow up with them the day after. Then you just build out this campaign however you want, and then you can just plug and play. You just import people into Go High Level and then press the go button and start running your campaigns.
I take it if someone, now this might seem really dumb, I'm just going to ask it anyway. If someone got the SMS, then they got email 1, and then they responded to you, I'm assuming that would cancel out the voicemail going out.
You can set it up that way by going to campaign configuration, and there's the option to stop on response. And that's not a stupid question at all, because that is a very intricate thing that you have to know when you're running these campaigns. So, like, if I'm running an appointment reminder sequence, so somebody fills out a contact form on my website and they want to set up an appointment with us to talk about their marketing, I don't want stop on response, because here I'll actually show it. So I have appointment reminders. You can see first one goes out immediately. I just saved a spot for you. I'll see you then. If anything changes, let me know. And then 24 hours before, which is about 14:37 minutes before, they get this text. And then 64 minutes before, I follow up with them one last time, just letting them know that, hey, we're looking forward to chatting with you. So in this case, I don't want stop on response, because I want this to go through regardless if they respond or not. Yeah,
no, that makes sense. But yeah, it's good. I just want to know if you had that ability to stop on response, which is obviously another, as you say, intricate feature. And obviously within all of this kind of stuff, when you're setting up campaigns, you've got your kind of other stuff that I can see on there, such as surveys, form builders, trigger links, bulk requests, and everything else. So you can build all sorts of forms on here, surveys. You can basically ping anything out to people, depending on how you're trying to market people.
Yeah, anywhere where you can think of having a contact point with a client, you can hook that up to Go High Level, or with a prospect, you can connect that contact point to Go High Level and plug them into some kind of automated marketing campaign.
It's as I say, it blows me away, this tool. And what are the other, kind of key features that because I know this tool's constantly being developed and there's always little things being added, but what is is there anything else there that you think is mind blowing in terms of the way the automation works on there that you can show us?
There's a lot of mind blowing things when it comes to the automation. You know what? I'll share one of the biggest quality of life upgrades for me that just made my life not necessarily that much better, but just that much easier. And it's getting reviews, Google My Business reviews for my clients. So I don't know how many of you struggle with that. How many of your clients are just terrible at getting those GMB reviews? Like, I have amazing clients that I have to go get fake reviews for because they're so bad at getting real reviews. But this was completely able to change that, because the administrator for that business, they just have to log in. They press this big green check-in client button because they got to go check in people anyways. They type the customer's name and then send a review invite, and it plugs them into an automated review requesting sequence for their Google My Business that follows up with them every month, every 6 months, every year. And it's always working to maximize the amount of reviews coming in for the GMB location.
So basically harassment until you give a
Yes.
review, so to speak.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it harassment, but
but nah, from a marketer's point of view, I think that's a great added value. You know, you can certainly say to a customer, we'll be doing all of these kind of small, intricate things. And what about the tab you're just hovering over, funnels and websites? What does that do?
So that's the next one that I would say is mind blowing, because this thing completely replaces ClickFunnels, where you can go and just, it's super easy to build a funnel. So this is the booking page that I use. Guys, don't hijack this page. Like, my schedule's on here, like, leave it alone, please. But this is like the booking page that I'm able to send people, and building this out took less than an hour because it's a what you see, what you get editor. And so it's like, you just click and add. It just makes it makes the design. If you're not like there, as SEOs, we build two types of websites and two types of pages. It's like, we build SEO pages that we're going to try to rank, but then we have all these other things that we build that we don't necessarily care if they rank, but we'd want a beautiful design for. Yeah. And so that's how I end up using the funnel builder. It's like, my booking page, I'm not trying to rank this, but I want a professional booking page where people can get a little bit of context as to who I am, what I do, and then my availability. Yeah. So you're able to build funnels here. This completely replaces ClickFunnels. I guess I'll share like a black hat strategy, since this is Craig's channel, but if you know anybody that has a ClickFunnels funnel, you can hijack their URL, import it here, and this tool will just rebuild their entire page out. So great way of hijacking well-designed funnels. I don't know if I should have shared that or not, but I did.
To hell with it. We need the good stuff.
Yeah, so it's like, hijack those high converting funnels, like right there. Aside from that, you do get these website templates. You can just go to template library and they'll have some models and templates built out for you. I would only use this for a client that's like trying to get a new website and they're trying to do PPC and they don't necessarily care about SEO yet, because you do get these incredible templates, but you'd normally want more customization with like WordPress or pure HTML side. But for what it is fantastic. Yeah, you can also build membership websites and course websites on here. There's a lot that you can do. But what I'd say is like the most mind-blowing thing out of all of this is you can clone these accounts and send them to people. So if like you have one client who's a roofer and you do a build out for them where you build out all of their marketing campaigns for them, you build out their pipeline. I'm not going to click there and show all that pipeline data, but you can build out their pipeline for them and you do all that work. You only have to do that once, because then you can just clone it and send it to the next client and it's already pre-built and everything is already there.
That is decent. So if you do a really good overall campaign for a builder, then you just go around the country selling to other builders and just clone and continue to print that money off.
Literally clone. And you just get video testimonials and you just rack them all up on some kind of funnel landing page that you can build on here. And yeah, it's like, when the way that we got started with this and having a lot of success with it is we picked up our first couple of clients doing outreach, which I do show in a different thing. But after we got our first couple of clients, we would just go over to the neighboring cities and just be like, hey, look what we did for this person who's in the same niche as you are in. They're your neighbor. They're not really competitors because they're geographically a little bit far from each other. And look at this video testimonial from them. Can we do the same thing for you?
And obviously, just before we do wrap up, I do want you to, if you can, show on your dashboard, like if someone signs up to this, an agency signs up to this, can you just show how easy it is to just add a roofer, you know, just like how easy it is to add another customer within your dashboard, so that you can basically have it, because it's unlimited amounts of people. You can have unlimited customers on here. Is that right? All you've got is Twilio costs.
That's correct. All you have is Twilio and Mailgun for emails, but you can infinitely scale this.
Yeah.
So let me just switch to the agency view on a different screen here. Okay, I think most of my clients are protected this way. So I guess I'll show you guys here. I'll switch over. So when you're adding an account, you just kind of go to your agency dashboard, which I skipped so that I don't reveal a ton of client data. And then all you do is you click this big green button that's kind of like blurred out here. And then it'll ask you, what snapshots do you want to import? A snapshot is basically a pre-built account. Go High Level has a couple of these already for you. So it's like you can see they have attorney, auto dealers, chiros, dentists, day spas, CrossFit, coaching. I'm not going to go through them all, but like home services, marketing agency, like so on and so on. But then I have my own snapshots that I've created, which are my own account builds. So if I wanted to add one, I would just click the one that I want to add. So let me just also switch this over to different screens to make sure it doesn't reveal client data once I press anything here. Okay, thankfully it doesn't. And then all you got to do is search for the Google My Business listing or for the address. So let's do Black Swan Media. Grab Worcester location. You click here, and then it pre-populates a lot of the information already. Then all you got to do is just add name. Am I going to get completely spammed if I put my email here?
Yeah, I wouldn't put that on there.
Okay. Okay, I will not.
You just never know. But yeah, we get the picture. You do that.
Yeah. You basically hit that, and then you just hit the save button, and then it'll have an entire built-out account for you.
Yeah, the point of me trying to get you to show that to people is like, if you buy this account and you're an agency owner, you can basically do this lead gen or use this for each and every single one of your clients. You just set them up an account within your account, and off you pop, and basically generate leads, reviews, all the kind of other stuff that's in there. Now, over the coming weeks, I'm going to get Bruno back to go through different ways. Like, you know, there's probably room for a whole episode on simply plugging this into a lead gen website and what you would do, and some strategy ideas around how to do that. And we will have some other episodes get into different bits and bobs, because it's a fairly big tool and we don't want to go into too much at the beginning. But Bruno, if someone is interested in getting this tool, because it is an amazing tool and it automates and helps everyone, and if you're like me, you're going to be excited by it. What if you're a dumbass like me who doesn't understand the tool? Is there anything we can give them? You know, what, you know, in terms of training, you know, or whatever? How does it all work?
Yeah, so I got a couple of things that could help a completely new person out. The first one is I can send over my entire agency build. So my entire agency account, including the kind of like the little text campaign thing that I mentioned, which, by the way, guys, if you have like 10 clients, you're looking at anywhere from 10 to 50K just from running these text campaigns from them. Each client is like $1,000 right off the bat minimum for these, but you can definitely charge a lot more. But anyway, so first thing that I can give them is a copy of my entire agency build out. The second thing that I can give them is, what I'll do is I'll create a coupon for you for like 25 people, and they can get access to the training course at 97% off. That's going to show them how to, one, download the template, how to set everything up. So it's like somebody could hit the ground running within an hour and a half of starting their free trial. And then I think we could also invite them to the Facebook group. So it's like if they have support or they have any questions, they can just reach out to me there.
Yeah, I think that sounds perfect. Obviously, the training from you, 97% off. So what does that work at per person for the 25 people?
I think it'll be like $5, $6 or something.
$6. Because what I think is people will see this and they'll be overawed and they'll be like, shit, like, how do I set it up? So I think obviously access to the Facebook group and stuff as well is perfect. And obviously I appreciate you giving 97% off for 25 people signing up. what I'll do is I'll put the links below the video, and you will be able to get access to those free bonuses from Bruno. And obviously over the next couple of weeks, I will agree with Bruno on some good webinars that we can come on and help you guys, especially the guys in my group who want to make money. I get loads of people asking me about lead gen, and I think this is going to tick a lot of the right boxes for them. So we will come back with Bruno and go in depth on things a little bit further, because it is a real big tool, and we've only really scratched the surface here. There is a hell of a lot more to it, and something that you guys should do. But Bruno, thank you very much for taking the time to give us an overview. If anyone wants to reach out to you personally, get a hold of you, whatever, where is the best place for people to find you?
The best place at the moment would be Facebook. Either shoot me a friend request, or better yet, go in the Facebook group and post something in there.
Yes.
That would be the best place.
Links will be below anyway. I'll put a link to the Facebook group so that you're not stalked by everyone in your personal profile. But yeah, it has been a pleasure, Bruno. I do appreciate you taking the time to show us a great tool, and I'm looking forward to having a play around with it and making some of that money for myself as well.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Craig. I appreciate it.
No worries. Cheers, man.